Well, hello friends. How are you tonight? I'm about to invent a dinner. It's not really a dinner. I'm going to see what you think. This is something that I thought of that I had in a hotel once when I went for a training when I worked for the Department of Social Services. I can't remember which building it was in, which training it was, but I remembered the lunch. I bought it and I went to this little cafeteria and they had a panini sandwich. So I'm going to try to recreate it. We had 3 more eggplants from the garden and some more fresh tomatoes, and my husband picked everything because we had a frost the other night. So tell me what you think and we'll find out. So I'm not going to do a whole panini top and bottom of bread because you know I'm not doing as much bread, but this is an invention, so bear with me. What I have here is a piece of sourdough that I lightly toasted in that skillet, or this skillet that it's in, and I'm going to start with some pesto. I think this is going to be good. I mean, I really do. This place that we went to, I don't even know what I was trained in, but I can tell you that the lunch was delicious. What would you put on top of that pesto first? I'm going to do tomato. So I have fresh tomato from my garden. Like I said, this is the last big one. It's not even that ripe. I'm going to put a little salt on that. The next layer of my so-called topless, it's going to be a topless panini, let's call it that, okay, is normally I would do, if I had fresh spinach, I would do fresh spinach. Can you see the food? No. Now you can. So what I had was some frozen, so I'm trying to squeeze it out and put some spinach just for the fiber, and I think this is going to be delicious. So I had pesto, fresh tomatoes with a little salt so far. And then the goods are coming. Trust me, the goods are coming. I like spinach. Some people don't. I want to have my veggies because the only protein that's going to be in this right here is going to be from cheese. And you'll see why in a minute. The next layer, I'm going to do some roasted red peppers on top of that. So far, so good. And you know that roasted red peppers are delicious, but they can take over. So I don't want that to happen because here's the star. The star of the show is I baked off a bunch of eggplant. So this is like I said, the last fresh eggplants from the garden. What, can you see it? 3 slices so far. I don't know. I think it needs something. So I'm going to maybe put, I wish I had more, if I had another tomato, maybe I should have put the tomato on top. What do you think? How about a little more pesto on top? Because the pesto is going to give it a little basil vibe. And you're going to see, I'm going to keep going with this. Would you put more roasted red peppers for color? What would you do? I'm going to, because I have cherry tomatoes, but I don't think I want to pop open a bunch of those. I'm just going to put a few more of these so that there's a little color. And then we're going to do some parm. And then what I have here is 3 slices of fresh mozzarella cheese. And then I'm going to pop this in the oven. So I've got sourdough. Let's see if I can get it to go for you. It was sourdough bread grilled. Look at this plate of baked eggplant. Sourdough bread grilled with pesto, and this is from Aldi's, and fresh tomato, salt, spinach, roasted red peppers, also maybe Walmart, pepper, Parmesan cheese, mozzarella cheese, and some frozen spinach. What do you think? So, like, if it's no good, I'll tell you. I don't think it's going to be in time, baked in time for you to have a sight of it, and if I could take a picture of it. I just wanted to do something other than eggplant Parmesan, and I remembered that sandwich. I wipe my nose every single time I talk to you. So it seems like I'm always telling you a lie. I'm always wiping my nose or fixing my hair or shoving my glasses on my face. Somebody needs to give me video lessons. Dave's having burgers, hot dogs, and beans. I didn't want any of those things. he likes burgers, hot dogs, and beans. So I make, everyone always asks, why do you cook two different things? I know what he likes, and he knows he doesn't care what I'm eating. So he doesn't care that I'm having eggplant. He just knows he doesn't like eggplant. So I already made, you might think this is weird. I had Roush's Bakery, which is a local bakery, hard rolls. I made him 4 burgers with sauteed onions. What I do, it is weird. I told you I meal prep and I have my meals frozen. And for him, I try to do, like this morning, I made him pancakes and sausage, and we already made turkey bacon today. So that goes in the fridge. He's got pancakes that he pulls 2 out a day for the week, and one of his sausages or his bacon, whatever he wants. And that's his breakfast, so I don't have to think about his breakfast tomorrow. I mean, he would make his own breakfast or he'd have something, but I like to cook for both of us. So anyway, where I was going with this is I don't just meal prep for me, I meal prep for Dave too. So he's on a walk right now while I talk to you. And what I did was I made him good hard rolls, 4 good burgers that are high protein ones that are low fat, sauteed onions. So he's gonna have one of those, and then unfortunately it's turkey hot dogs. I mean, I do buy the uncured, no nitrate ones for his heart, but I only had Oscar Mayer turkey ones here today, so I make turkey hot dogs, and he likes chopped onions. So he's got a burger and hot dogs and baked beans in a thing in the microwave. So his dinner's that. But he's got 4 more hot dogs with chopped onions and 3 more burgers on good crusty rolls in a big Tupperware container. So for the next few days, if I don't cook another meal that he likes, he will just keep eating burgers and hot dogs through the week for lunch. I did not make him, you know that I did this last week. Whoa, that was close. Here's my $1.47, because they were $1 all summer. I just had Walmart delivery today. I did not make him a sub because I made him all the hot dogs and burgers. So instead of making him the sub that goes into 4, because you saw me meal prep that last week, I decided to make him burgers and hot dogs, and I'm going to put that in the freezer till it's time for me to make some prep for him for next time. Does this make any sense to you? I talked to a friend today, and I told her that in 2021, everyone who knows me knows that I had surgery on my throat for the 3rd time, and it was a hard surgery, and I was in the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. And the day they discharged me like say on a Thursday. The next day, Friday, I was readmitted with COVID, serious COVID, where I was in the ICU for a long time with a pulmonary embolism, and I almost died. Where I'm going with this is we could not get on a flight after they let me out of the hospital. I think I was in 5 days in the ICU, and then they wouldn't allow me on a flight because I still tested positive and I was still with a neck brace on from having my throat. That's why someone said today your neck will get tighter, but it won't, because I've had three surgeries. Twice they've opened here, and once they've opened here. So with that being said, this still isn't where I was going with that. I have issues. They wouldn't let me on an airplane, so we had to rent a car and drive from Minnesota in February to home. It was freezing, it was snowing. We were in a white Chevy Malibu. My husband also had COVID, and I did like 70% of the driving, and I couldn't turn my head like this, so I don't even know how I drove, but I remember hardly anything of the whole trip. When I got home, I went to bed for 3 days. It took us 3 days to get home. I don't remember where we stayed. I remember being very sick. That year I was the weakest and sickest I ever was in my life. So, still where I was going with this was, there were no meals here. I didn't have a freezer full of hot soups and chilies and stews. And I never will have that happen again, because I was so sick that I could not stand at that stove right there and make dinner. Luckily, my daughter brought soup, and my best friend Deb from Gloversville brought me matzo ball soup. Another wonderful set of friends that we had met brought a chicken pot pie. Our neighbor Mike brought us beef stew for the first week, but I don't remember. I do remember that I couldn't even walk from my house to the corner for 8 months. So I will never do that again. If I got sick tomorrow and I'm really sick, I have homemade chicken soup. I have split pea soup. I have chili. I have stew. I have stuffed cabbage. I have lots of food prepped. And I think that's now a thing dietary wise, and because of that one incident. It was very scary to be I was literally bedbound, weak, and couldn't do anything. And Dave was we actually went into 2 separate rooms. I thought to die because we didn't even really see each other or talk. And then it was a long time. It was a really long, rough heal. So prepping meals is right now necessity for me, for my mindset. We don't live near anyone or anything. So it was hard for people it was February, it was snowing, it was hard for people to even come bring us anything. It was really, when they say Jesus took the wheel, he took the wheel. He literally took the wheel, because I don't remember. And I do remember, I have pictures, because I took pictures, because everything was white. The sky was white, the ground was white, everything was white. Scary. There's nothing I don't know. I've been scared in my life, and everybody has. I never want to feel that weak again. So yes, I exercise every day to never feel that again. Hang on. I'm going to check and see how we're doing here. I think it's starting to look pretty delicious. I'm going to let it go without a top now. And I'm going to stop talking. But, sorry. That probably went too long. It's been 11 minutes. That's not done. But I think it's going to be good. Do you love eggplant? I do. I love it. So, have a nice night. Thanks for watching me make nothing, really. A sandwich. That's going to be my dinner. But I am definitely going to put my numbers in. Talking with my mouth full. And see where I am for the day for protein. Normally, this would be when I would have to fill in somewhere in between with a protein shake when I don't do enough protein at one of my meals. But we'll see. I put lunch in, breakfast, and I had a seafood salad again, the one you saw me make. Here I go. Seafood salad again in a half a pita. I had a little bit of my buffalo chicken chili. That was my lunch, like a soup and sandwich type of thing. Strawberries. I put that in. I had my scrambled eggs with cheese this morning, turkey, bacon, and toast. I did not have overnight oats. I'm down in protein. I'm going to have something with protein. I already know. When I put the numbers in, there won't be enough. There will not be 100. But I'll do what I'm supposed to by the end of the day. And does any of this stuff... Oh, I don't even have to ask that. I already have so many messages of who I'm helping. I know who's out there. Hopefully you're sharing my videos, because if you share my videos, I get strangers that I know are real people, because I could tell we have mutual friends that are actually enjoying the videos, making some of the recipes, messaging me questions, asking me for some other ideas. I don't know. I can ramble on, as you know, but I don't want to, because you probably have better things to do than look at this face. So you guys have a good night. I don't mean to talk and eat at the same time, but it is like 10 to 5. I'm a 5 o'clock eater. What time do you eat dinner? I mean, it's like a clock in this cute little apron, huh? Look, they even have towels and pockets. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. Thanks for watching, and I love you guys. Bye.